like to thank everybody for coming on this Valentine's Day. First, we'll have the roll call, please.
Chairman Latour.
Here.
Vice Chair Stebbins.
Here.
Commissioner Berry.
Here.
Commissioner Brock. Commissioner Bynum.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton. Here. Commissioner Haynes.
Here.
Commissioner May. Here. Commissioner Ramon.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas. And Commissioner Vogel.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. With that, I'd welcome a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Excuse me. I move that we approve the minutes for the, let's see here, January the 3rd, 2019 meeting with all staff comments and.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Don't worry, I knock it off every week. So it's your turn for the week. Would you take us through the consent agenda, please?
Following is a consent agenda for the Little Rock Planning Commission Planning Rezoning Conditional Use Hearing of February 14th, 2019. You have one item on consent withdrawal. Item number 5, file number Z9388, Egba Liquor Store, Retail Liquor Store Conditional Use Permit, 5223 Asher Avenue. On January 30th, Brian Mason, who is an attorney for the Arkansas State Alcoholic Beverage Control, issued a letter to Linton and Phoebe Egba stating that the state ABC would not issue a retail liquor store license for 5223 Asher Avenue since the property is within 1,000 feet of 2 church uses and a school. This prohibits the license from being issued, and the letter further stated that there is no exception or waiver to that prohibition. Therefore, staff sees no need or benefit in proceeding with the CUP application and recommends the application be withdrawn. Next, you have one item on consent deferral. Item 3, Z9385, Phillips Duplexes Conditional Use Permit, east side of Weldon Avenue, south of West 44th Street. The applicant submitted a letter to staff on February 8th requesting this application be deferred to the March 28th, 2019 agenda. Staff supports that request. Next are the items on consent approval. Item number 1, Z9386, a rezoning from R2 and C3 to R2, 18609 Colonel Glen Road. Staff recommends approval of the requested R2 rezoning. Item number 2, Z3987E, Ritter Communications Conditional Use Permit, 9415 Stagecoach Road. Staff recommends approval of the requested CUP subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in sections 5 and 6 of the agenda staff report. And item number 4, Z9387, Bricky Bed and Breakfast and Office Conditional Use Permit, 1402 Commerce Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested CUP subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in sections 4, 5, and 6 of the agenda staff report. That concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, I move that we approve the consent agenda with including all staff comments and conditions.
There's a motion. Is there a second? All in favor of approving the consent agenda, raise your hand. Those opposed? If your item was on consent, you're welcome to go. It's Valentine's Day. You might want to take advantage of that.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. For those of you that are staying, I need to explain the process. There's one item left. And normally we give the applicant 20 minutes to explain their project and any points they'd like to raise, and any opponents have, have 20 minutes. Because we already had the hearing on this item some months ago, that number is now, by the commission's rules, is now 10 minutes per side. So I hope everybody understands 10 minutes, and that'll be that. So with that, would you lead us through item A?
On item A, which is the Word of Outreach Prayer Garden Revised Conditional Use Permit at 2700 Brown Street. Mr. Chairman, the applicant, Dr. Smith, is not here, and I don't know if that anybody else is here to represent the application. I don't believe anyone's here. The past practice has been if the applicant is not here, the commission defers the application. And at times, the commission has given staff instructions to, with the deferral, send a letter to the applicant stating that at the next meeting, it will be heard whether they're here or not. That's kind of what we've done in the past, but.
All right. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
Clarification, this has been deferred once before, is that correct? Okay.
I would suggest we take the recommendation, send the letter that'll be heard next month, next meeting, next opportunity. And that's that. Is there a motion on that?
Yes, I move that we approve the deferral of the item until what date would it be?
Be March 28th.
To the March 28th meeting, and have staff send correspondence to the applicant regarding that if the item will be heard, whether they are present or not at that meeting.
It's a motion. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Those opposed, no. The motion's approved. Ms. Bell, would you care to have any citizens' communication? Would any citizen care to communicate with us? If not, thank you for coming. We're adjourned.